All right, take it off. Take it off, Harry. That's enough. We're already 20% over your suggested safety limits.
Gotta give it a little more time.
No, that's it. I'm shutting it down.
No, we're almost there. We're almost there.
You're not Breaking Bad, Locutus, all right? I'm disengaging the photon flow.
Hey everybody, this is going to be my Flash episode 16 video, a whole bunch of Easter eggs for OG Flash from Season 1 and Season 2 because Iris had to do a bunch of things that Barry did when he first became the Flash, but we also had a couple big crossovers. You probably recognize this guy from either Westworld or the Fast and Furious franchise, or this actor from Glee. Always a bunch of Glee actors popping up in the Flash every once in a while. So if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the DC videos. There's a Flash Ring giveaway that's going on right now. All you have to do to enter is just be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video. So let's do top 10 WTF comic book Easter eggs, starting with number 10, the new thinking cap. They call it a thinking cap, but it takes Cisco to get it there. But basically, they're just replicating what DeVoe did. And Harrison Wells has this really crazy moment where he seems like he might turn into a version of DeVoe himself, which basically would make him the Eobard Thawne version of Wells again. Like the picture he's looking at, there's that voiceover in the background, just like Eobard Thawne. So the picture he's looking at isn't his picture, it's a picture of Eobard Thawne as Wells. So there were just a lot of moments in this episode that reference Season 1 moments, which they've kind of been doing during Season 4. Like even DeVoe's origin story episode was a flashback to the first episode.
Clifford DeVoe. I'm a big fan.
So it made a lot of sense that the Iris callbacks were to Season 1 moments too. But, funny observation, they actually do ponder turning the rest of the 3 bus metas into chickens, and Harrison Wells doesn't throw the idea out. He's like, oh yeah, we could actually do that. Mad science is really more of an area of study, so just stray observations. One of my favorite things about that character is that he's dead serious when he's talking about stuff like that. But number 9, this might give us an idea for why Coffee Shop Girl in last week's episode looked like she wasn't really happy with Caitlin and Harrison Wells. Like, as they were walking away, she was pondering them as if something bad were about to happen. There were a lot of people that thought maybe she's sinister, but I still like the idea that she's related to Barry and Iris. Like, it's the greatest thing in her life that she gets to witness the wedding of Barry and Iris. So I don't think that she's a threat to Team Flash. I just think because of all the stuff that Cisco was talking about in this, like him potentially becoming just like DeVoe, a mad scientist and going crazy, might come to pass in a version of the future that Coffee Shop Girl is from. So that's why she doesn't like Harrison Wells, because she knows what he might turn into. And it's pretty fair to say that in most timelines, Killer Frost will go evil at some point. Like, it's only a matter of time. So right now, that's the most likely reason for her to not like Harrison Wells and Caitlin, but really like Cisco, Elongated Man, Barry, and Iris. Because thus far, it seems like she's really enjoyed all the other members of Team Flash that she's run into. So number 8, just keep that in the back of your mind, Harrison Wells potentially going crazy or using the thinking cap, potentially leading to something really bad, because there has been no technology that they've introduced on the show that has not later gone off the rails or been co-opted by the villain. Like a really good analogy to make would be the Velocity 7, like this miraculous thing that gives the hero a boost, but then is later turned into something really, really bad when it becomes Velocity 9. So the thinking cap is sort of like Harrison Wells' version of Velocity 9. No way that doesn't go off the rails later this season. But number 7, bit of a comic book Easter egg, Eric Fry, the meta who gets his fire-based powers transferred to the new meta that they then call Pyro, is a bit of a wink at the police chief from the New 52 comics, whose name was Fry. Now, he wasn't a meta, he was just a normal police chief, but there is no Eric Fry in the comic books. And even though there was a Pyro in the comic books, he wasn't a really big character. He was just briefly in the Power Girl comics and then just kind of went away. Like, just really minor, bit of a legal issue between Marvel and DC. But number 6, bit of a WTF. The only thing that upset me a little bit during the episode was the way they wrote the Ralph character. So he was just like the biggest dick to Iris, and I understand why they had him do that, because they needed him to be a bit of a call to action to Iris, so she kind of checked herself, because she said a lot of the reason why she felt insecure was because of herself. It had nothing to do with Ralph. But in pursuit of that, they really had him go over the top. And I don't feel like he would have been that normally. Like, he's freaked out about the Thinker. So it just feels a little jarring when characters 180 like that. So I felt like that was mostly in the writing. Like, the actors just have to do whatever the writers tell them to do. Number 5, though, Iris answers a whole bunch of questions that people have been asking about her all season long, like, what's the deal with her being a reporter? Did she quit her job? Is she still a reporter? So the way she explains it is that she was fearless in season 1, season 2. Like literally during season 2, she shoots out the window in a high-rise, then jumps out without a parachute, just totally trust-falling that Barry is going to catch her when he runs up the building. It was this really cool moment. I think it was episode 10 from season 2. And then you get to like season 3 and season 4, and she's a completely different character. So it's like, why was she so fearless then and not now? The way the writers are explaining it via Iris's character is blame Savitar. So if you're wondering why she's been behind a desk, why she's been doing all the things that she's been doing this season, it's because she was so traumatized by the Savitar event. And she did make a joke about it a while ago when they saw the Lego set, like when they got shrunk down. So I felt like that was them sort of teeing up the idea that she might have some trauma that she hadn't dealt with yet. But they have weird ways of addressing that on the TV show. Like Caitlyn is a good example. Like she went through all this crap in the first 2 seasons and they didn't really address it. So I just assumed when she went super crazy as Killer Frost during season 3, it was just all that stuff inside her bubbling to the surface that she hadn't dealt with yet. But number 4, they have some of those funny moments after they swap powers. Like basically, Iris goes through a condensed version of the arc that Barry went through when he first got powers. So like there's the funny moment where she's running on the treadmill, then bails out. It's okay, I'm good.
You might just want to...
I can't slow down.
That's okay. All right, just gradually ramp your speed down. Otherwise...
It was so
Glucose levels. Barry, we think we know why you keep...
Barry did the same thing. She needs to borrow some clothes from Caitlyn. I believe this is the second time that Caitlyn has been naked in front of Team Flash. The first time being when Barry changed her after drunken karaoke back during season 1. So again, all kinds of season 1 callbacks. Number 3, she tries her first big save, saving people from a burning building. That was the first big save that Barry tried to make back during season 1, episode 2, like his first conscious save in the middle of the day. Oh, burning building, gotta save everybody. They use it as an opportunity to show you that she just hasn't quite figured out all the powers of the Flash. Every speedster is a little bit different. So like Jesse Quick, Jay Garrick, Wally West, they would come up with their own ways of using their speed to solve certain problems. So like Barry doing the windmills, like a lot of the basic abilities they all use, but each has their own way of figuring things out. So like Jesse Quick might have an ability that you might not see Wally West do, and the same thing with Jay Garrick. He's been the Flash of Earth 3 for like 30 plus years, so he's probably learned a couple tricks that Barry has not tried yet. But number 2, big final fight with Pyro, bit of a twist on Barry's first couple of big things that he did with his powers. So remember in the pilot episode when he ran around the tornado, that's what he tells Iris to do, except because it's a fire, she needs to create a tidal wave, which Barry did when he traveled back in time after the Weather Wizard episode. Also the same episode that Eobard Thawne killed Cisco in. So thankfully, Iris did not accidentally time travel back into the past when she was creating the tidal wave like Barry did. But of course, at the end of the episode, they're going to give Barry his powers back. I thought it was weird that they even put it to a vote, like, do you really want to take these powers back? Do you want to give them back, Iris? Like, of course they're going to give the Flash back his powers. Like, it was almost laughable, the look on Barry's face of relief after he got his powers back. Like, oh, thank God, that was agony not having my speed. Even the actor, Grant Gustin, posted this meme to his Instagram account. Number 1, though, is that post-credits scene where he's like, I never want to lose you, and it's meant to be this tender moment between the two of them, but you remember the Thinker arc, We Are the Flash. The Thinker is eventually going to need someone else's body. So like Ralph says earlier in the episode, I'm the only one with a body that the Thinker is trying to snatch. But, wait for it, not for long, because the Flash has all the abilities that the Thinker will need to survive when he absorbs all 12 of the Meta's powers. Thinking 3 steps ahead, how are they going to twist that nice moment on its head in a couple episodes? So remember, this is episode 16, there are 23 total, we still have a ways to go. Kevin Smith was even talking about his episode. So there's going to be some crazy stuff happening in the next couple of weeks. So when I post my Flash trailer video tomorrow morning, I'll just update the schedule because there might be a break between episodes next week. And I almost forgot, Iris West's costume, obviously a version of excesses from the comics. I've talked about that in a couple different Flash videos. If Coffee Shop Girl really does turn out to be one of their descendants in a speedster, it's totally possible she could be wearing a version of Iris's costume. So I did a video a little while ago about Titans doing Jason Todd along with Coffee Shop Girl stuff that the Flash producers were explaining. So you can watch that if you haven't seen it already. I explained what the producers said about Coffee Shop Girl and all the theories that everyone had. They said that people are really close, but they're not 100% on it. So just remember that, as well as Harrison Wells and what that thinking cap might end up doing to him long term. So it seems really good right now, but usually Velocity 9 style, that goes sideways later in the season. What I'll do is I'll name the giveaway winner when I post that trailer video tomorrow, so click here for that Jason Todd Titans Flash video, and click here for this really cool documentary on Superman and the Krypton TV show. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.